Plenty of snow all across the region today, making for some dangerous driving conditions, just as many people are now trying to head home.
In the Pullman area, a winter storm warning is in effect through tonight. Strong winds and blowing snow are creating snowdrifts. Look at that across roads and highways. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. We want to get started right away with meteorologist Tom Sherry with a look at how much snow could still be headed to the area here, at least over the next hours and days.
Tom?
I think most of the snow for us in the Spokane area is over this evening, but I do think we're going to get more in North Idaho overnight, and I think we've got more snow on the way for us late tomorrow morning. Right now, we're still forecasting between 2 to 3 inches of snow. Last I checked with the National Weather Service, the airport had already picked up about 2 inches of snow. We're still under that winter weather advisory for another 2 hours. The area shaded in purple. We've got a winter storm warning up north. That could be 4 to 6 inches of snow. And again, that winter weather advisory down south. The real problem south of us in the Palouse has not been so much the incredible snowfall total. That's been more 1 to 2 inches. It's the fact that it has had drifting snow down there. Keep in mind, we have a much higher water content in the snow, so it's really packing down and icing up. Although, as you look at Colfax, Washington, it looks pretty good on the main roads. We're at 31 degrees, so look for the roads that were wet, those main arterials. They're going to ice up now in the overnight hours as we drop down into the mid-20s. There's the snow still continuing to fall to the east of us and to the south of us. A closer view of the Spokane area shows mostly decreasing, just snow right over in the Shoshone County area, and of course down into the Washington and Idaho Palouse. It gets cold tonight, down to 21 degrees. Still many places around the inland northwest will look for lows tonight in the teens. High tomorrow expected near 32. Some late morning snow expected. Right now I'm tracking a mostly dry weekend, but I've got more snow later this week. Looks like it may fall on Thursday. I'll have your 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. So the snow has been falling off and on for the past several hours, most of the day, in fact, across Spokane, which means the conditions on the roads are now pretty slippery out there.
We sent meteorologist Thomas Patrick out on our brand new KREM 2 storm tracker to get a check on the roads firsthand. So Thomas, how are things looking where you're at?
Yeah, hey there, Mark and Whitney. We've been trying to compare and contrast the road conditions across Spokane. We started on the South Hill, where a lot of the side roads were just absolutely blasted with snow, a lot of packed snow and ice from not just today's snowfall, but most recently. We decided to head a bit more downtown. Take a look for yourself. We're on Sharp near the Gonzaga campus area, and this is actually just wet road conditions. There actually looks like there's less snow here overall. In fact, as we take a peek off to the right here, you can see that most of the sidewalks, whether they've been, well shoveled or not, maybe it was an easier time shoveling, at least just kind of from our perspective. So these are much more wet conditions, and yes, you can see the windshield wipers just kind of flicking away, not flurries, but actually a bit of drizzle as of this hour. Liquid precipitation this time around. It definitely was a big difference today, seeing those temperatures much warmer than what they were all of last week, but obviously all the snow from last week is making a big difference on a lot of those side roads. So you're going to want to be careful for tonight and be careful for any of this water on the roads that could refreeze during the overnight hours. Reporting from the mobile storm tracker, I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Back to you in the studio.
A very good reminder, Thomas. Thank you very much. And the snow is building up across the inland northwest. You saw what it's been like here in Spokane, but we want to know what it looks like where you are. So if you have seen a lot of snow in your area, go ahead and text us your best photos to 509-448-2000.
Well, looking now at our area passes where all this snow is having a big impact right now. Snoqualmie Pass is closed right now from North Bend all the way to Ellensburg, but it's estimated to reopen at 8 o'clock tonight. Heavy snow has been coming down at a rate of about 1 to 2 inches per hour, which then prompted avalanche control. 19 inches fell on the pass overnight, and visibility is low.
White Pass is another route around to get to the other side of the state, but also closed tonight because of slide danger and very heavy snow, and no estimated time to reopen there on White Pass.
Hundreds of inland power customers are without power right now. The utility company is reporting that more than 700 customers are out of power across the region. Whitman and Garfield counties are reporting the most outages. Roughly 15 customers are without power in Spokane County. That's according to Inland Power's outage map. The number of new COVID cases reported in the U.S. last week hit an all-time high, nearly 500,000 cases in a single day. With millions of Americans heading back to work and to school after the holidays, Omicron is driving a new spike in COVID cases. Some colleges across Washington are putting a pause on in-person classes. The University of Washington and Western Washington University are opting for remote learning all week as winter quarter begins. And as cases again surge, demand for local testing is through the roof. Today, lines wrapped around both the Spokane community testing sites.
Yeah, KREM 2's Janelle Finch is joining us now live from the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center, which saw extremely long lines for testing today. Hi, Janelle.
Hey guys, Spokane Expo Center, I'm here now, and if you look behind me, you'll actually see they have a sign out that says that they are at capacity and only taking appointments. That's because local health officials say that the threat of Omicron is driving up the demand for COVID testing. Both this site as well as the Spokane Falls Community College are experiencing extremely long lines for testing. Looking at the current spread of COVID and close of the holiday season, Spokane's 2 mass testing sites are being hit with long lines and high demands. The Spokane Regional Manager for Discovery Health says the Spokane Falls testing site as well as the Spokane Expo Center have 500 tests for each day of the week they're open.
Our testing volume has actually doubled, to say the least. We actually currently are experiencing even higher than double volumes.
To keep track of their available tests, they encourage people to make appointments online. Spokane Regional Health says they are actively working to create more testing sites. One public nurse says they recognize this community need even before Omicron made its way to the eastern side of the state.
We've been trying to get additional testing capacity before we were even seeing Omicron, knowing that we were likely to have an increase in cases.
Spokane Falls Community College offered rapid testing on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Spokane Regional Health says appointments filled up quickly, but they don't plan on offering rapid testing again in the future. Spokane Regional Health encourages those who are experiencing symptoms and those who have known exposures to make appointments at their sites and get tested. They say to go to their website for the most up-to-date information on appointment availability. I was also at the Spokane Falls Community College testing site earlier today, and the lines are just long. The regional manager for Discovery Health told me that if you're planning on making an appointment in the next few weeks, expect a significant wait time and arrive early. In Spokane Valley, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, thank you very much. And with millions of children headed back to class today, many of them may soon have a little extra protection against COVID. So kids 12 to 15 are about to become eligible to get the Pfizer booster shot. The FDA gave that shot its first okay today and also shortened the time allowed for both kids and adults to get the Pfizer booster from 6 months to 5 months after a second dose. Final CDC approval could come later this week.
Another setback for the Gonzaga men's basketball team. News of yet another postponed game because of COVID issues. The latest game impacted is Thursday's matchup with the University of San Francisco, which was supposed to be played at the Kennel. The matchup was a big one for Gonzaga, as San Francisco was set to enter the game with a 13-1 record, its best start in decades. It follows 2 other postponed games for the Zags in the past week. In fact, the West Coast Conference was forced to postpone all of its games this weekend because of COVID issues. Matt Norlander with CBS Sports reports the conference will meet today to figure out what's next and how it can adjust its league schedule.
Well, another potential setback for the Freeman school shooting case. A series of motions related to that case were pushed back now until Thursday, and that includes a motion to move the case out of Spokane entirely. Caleb Sharp was just 15 years old when police say he opened fire at Freeman High School, killing 1 student and injuring 3 others. That was back in the fall of 2017. The case, though, has seen multiple delays.
The trial is set to start in just 2 weeks. Motions were scheduled every day this week, but the judge decided to push those motions until Thursday. The judge will hold arguments whether the trial should be moved to another county and whether to push the trial date back again. Another motion is seeking an exceptional concurrent sentence for the suspect if he's found guilty of the murder charge against him. Aggravated murder is a 46-year sentence. Attorneys are asking for an exceptional sentence of 20 years since the suspect was a juvenile at the time of the shooting back in September of 2017. We'll share the latest developments from these hearings as they progress.
In the meantime, late last year, defense attorneys tried to assert an insanity defense for Caleb Sharp, but it was denied by the judge. The defense has also filed a new motion to reconsider that and also tried to delay the trial, saying they simply need more time to prepare and that COVID precautions have also slowed down the progress of this case. Sharp is facing 1 charge of first-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and 48 counts of second-degree assault. The now almost almost 20-year-old will be tried as an adult and faces up to life in prison.
Still ahead tonight, hundreds of buildings burned after wildfires in Colorado. How the Idaho Red Cross is now helping families after the devastation.